Great job, boy. Thank you. Thank you, mate. Good.
Since I've been coming back and forth since last December, you know, one thing that I know is that Anthony is a very talented fighter. He's already a complete fighter. He's very talented. There's a few things that need to be worked on, but he does everything great. You know, he just needs to do things right and needs to know when to do them and when not to do them. You know, that's one thing that he's missing. But you know, he's one of the most talented heavyweights in the division. You know,
Yes, I know.
You know, all fighters, you know, have a night where things don't click and, you know, they don't feel exactly how they want to feel. Timing maybe is not ideal, and, you know, Usyk's a very tricky, good fighter, got some good skills. So it's just one of those nights, you know. You can have game plans and stuff to apply smart pressure and close the gap and cut them off and break them down. But obviously, you know, Usyk was smart and boxed a really good fight.
Reigning as a champion of the world brings many hostile oppositions with intentions of conquering to become and replace the current king of the ring. The man with all the glory and adoration who once was the reigning unified champion of the world has now become the underdog overnight. Although the term speed kills is always described as the counter for the slower powerful nemesis, power will always be dominant towards speed if it's used in good timing. Anthony Joshua, being the powerhouse, has the advantage of breaking Usyk down quicker if his mental state is confident enough to take those risks. Usyk has the advantage of controlling the ring with speed and footwork. But it all depends on who is the more mentally confident man on the night to be able to earn the ring generalship. This is Boxing Stars All Access, Camp Life.
It was a fabulous performance from Oleksandr Usyk. And Anthony Joshua loses his heavyweight titles.
There was chaos in the corner. And Robert McCrankenin, who's been with Anthony Joshua for a long time, 3 or 4 years before he turned professional, 3 or 4 years before he won the Olympic gold. That was a mad corner. Robert was in the corner, Robert McCrankenin. And there were other people screaming and shouting. And it was all over the place. Joshua lost a fight that I thought he was going to win. But on the night, I didn't think he fought a very smart fight, and he lost. Joshua decided he needed a few changes, so he's brought in Robert Garcia, who's worked with a lot of fighters, and no one doubts his credentials. And if he can get a little bit, if he can help Anthony rediscover a little bit of that pre-Andy Ruiz nastiness.
Yes.
You know?
Relax, listen, he's going to start coming over the top.
We're winning this fight. He's too good for this kid. We'll be okay. That's how I felt as they sat down on the stool after the second one.
I mean, you watched that Ruiz fight back, and if you'd been in space for the last 3 or 4 years, and I showed you up to the point when Anthony Joshua drops Andy Ruiz.
Right hand from Joshua, the hook lands as well. Good uppercut and a hook, puts Ruiz down. Wow!
You would have bet every penny you had that in the next 20 seconds, Anthony Joshua was going to finish Andy Ruiz. But it doesn't work that way. Get something that's got.
This is a fire pass! Oh my word! Extraordinary here in the third round in the Garden. What happens next? I wonder. Hasta aquí guerra. De poder a poder. And Joshua's hurt.
That's your equilibrium. He's okay. His body's fucked up. When you get the hit right here, somehow it's kind of burned right here in the midbrain, right? It's almost like your head hitting something.
That was the moment where you see the legs stiffen up and it's like, oh, And that's when we knew there was a problem.
Now, I don't think we've seen that. I don't think we've seen enough of that Anthony Joshua since that round, since that fight. So that's what I want to see Robert Garcia do. I want to see him help Joshua discover his nasty edge. And then, therefore, against Usyk, he can use the nastiness and the bulk. He can combine them to do in the rematch what I thought he would do in the first fight. If Garcia can do that, he deserves his plaudits.
Anthony needs to be himself. You know, he needs to believe in himself. I think what I'm here doing with him is bringing his best qualities, his big techniques out. You know, he was holding back a little too much in the previous fight, like he says. You know, he was focusing on just boxing, but he could also be an aggressive fighter, and he could also box even in this fight. You know, we might even end up having to box a little bit, but you know, he also has the power, he has the height, the reach to be aggressive too.
Anthony Joshua is a composed and ferocious finisher.
When it comes to confidence, it's not hard to see that Usyk has the edge over AJ. Skepticism can be good or bad for a fighter, depending on how much you believe in yourself when it comes to fighting. This is just one aspect of being mentally prepared for a fight. In the ring, fighting is more of a mental battle than actual physical, especially when you are fighting a pound-for-pound technician in Usyk. The American coach is the newest addition to Joshua's corner team as he looks to overhaul his plans ahead of his summer rematch with Oleksandr Usyk for the unified belts. He has been drafted in to replace McCrankenin, who had been with Joshua throughout his professional career, but came in for criticism over the Usyk loss. Anthony Joshua's trainer Robert Garcia has admitted the former heavyweight champion has developed a mental problem after his 2 losses.
You walking that thin line, I'm clapping the first time for a motherfucker trying.
Never got hit like that before.
It's either me or you, believe it, dog. I know a nigga like you ain't got shit to lose.
Garcia fears that Joshua may have become complacent after facing very little struggle throughout his career. After lacing up gloves relatively late as a youngster, he quickly won Olympic gold in 2012 and was into the pros, where he blasted out most of his opponents on his way to beating Vladimir Klitschko for the unified belts. He was put down by Klitschko in that fight, but otherwise had faced minimal resistance before he took on Ruiz in New York during his American debut. A lot of times when a fighter is so good, so accomplished with a gold medal, 2-time heavyweight champion, sometimes then they might get a little too comfortable. They might think, I already lost a fight, so maybe I'm not as good? It gets to the head.
You put it past me, that ass would be bleeding sweat like a hemophiliac exactly.
It's never happened to him, he's never been hurt before, he's never been in that situation before, and it's kind of scary, and you kind of panic a little bit.
It's something that has to change, because he already did it. He already won the gold medal against the best fighters in the world. And then as a pro he also did beat the best to become heavyweight champion of the world. We didn't see that before he lost. After he lost is when we've seen that there's more of a mental problem, so it's something they're working on.
Even though the first fight was one-sided, you know, maybe 1 or 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds that Anthony won, but even the few times that Anthony landed, Usyk came out with his face marked up. So I think Anthony could do more damage if he stays a little bit busy. You know, I think he did. Usyk did feel his punches in a few of those rounds. A few right hands that landed. I think Usyk held him and moved to rounds. So can he hurt him upstairs? Of course, 100%. Body shots, he's been hurt before, so we got to work on that too. But it could happen on body shots or even upstairs. I think the first fight, Usyk did feel his power. There was a few punches. You know, I've watched the fight over and over, and there was a few punches where I noticed that Usyk fell. I think it's gonna be wherever Anthony lands, he's gonna hurt. We're working him hard in the gym. You know, we're working him hard with the morning runs. You know, we have to do a lot of sprints. We have to do a lot of work that's gonna get him in good condition. But the main thing is gonna be inside the ring. So the training, the sparring, the mid-work, that's what he's going to get his position. We got 5 sparring partners every day ready to go. So that's going to be the main thing, the right sparring, a lot of it, and that's all. Gym work, that's the main thing. That's what he's going to get. I know that because, like I told you, they trained in my gym. Lomachenko got ready for a lot of these fights, and they're very similar. They are very difficult. They are very awkward. They are one of the guys that changes things from one round to the other and makes it more difficult for the fighter. But we got to be ready for that. We just got to be ready for that. We got to be in great shape. Great shape. Can't afford to get tired in the fight. But the last thing, the power, the strength, that's what we got to take advantage of.
I'm not playing. I'm banging hammers on niggas. Put hands on that nigga like. Just beat shit out you. I brawl like an animal. Your whole team is scrambling.
Thanks for watching Boxing Stars. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell button to not miss our latest boxing episodes.